You're listening to the Fast Intentions Podcast. Now here are your hosts, Nathan and Todd.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fast Intentions, episode number 27. I'm your host, Nathan. I'm always here, alongside my co-host, my dad. His name's Todd. He's also here.
I'm always here.
Yeah, he's always here. And we're back.
And better than ever.
Yes. Hopefully this is the start of our weekly uploads.
Yes.
Because I went to WWE last week. It wasn't the weekend. So we didn't record last Monday, but... So we'll see. We'll figure out what day we want to upload this. I'm thinking Wednesday. We'll record on Monday, upload Wednesday. Because that should give me enough time. And then if I'm lazy Tuesday and don't want to do it, I can do it Wednesday. Because I should be able to get it done pretty quick. But you never know with me. Long day at work or something. And I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this stupid podcast. I'll just wait until the next day to do it. But I never say that because I like the podcast.
Then you always say, it wasn't that bad to edit. So.
Well, yeah, because I don't do a whole lot of the editing. It's just like denoise, put a transition in here, and that's about it.
Well, hopefully we figure out a little sounder thing going. That'll make a lot less editing for you.
That is coming.
Nice.
Not the webcam. I haven't ordered that yet.
Okay.
Because that would be some extra moolah. But even though I could just take it from my savings and pay myself back. Maybe I will do that after we record. So, but anyways, we're back.
Yes, and better than ever.
Yeah, I saw Cody Rhodes kick some ass at wrestling last week, so it was fun.
Ooh. Austin Eckler winding his way through the Cowboys down to the 4-yard line on a little screen pass.
He's distracted.
First and goal.
First and goal. How the hell did they get down there already?
Well, they held the Cowboys.
Hopefully they threw it to Keenan Allen.
No. They held the Cowboys, and then they punted. And actually, Josh Palmer scored, but they called it back on a illegal man downfield.
Don't get too distracted by the football game.
Oh, they're just trying to throw the Keenan Allen right there. Tackle that son of a bitch. Well, that's good. They got 6 guys by him. He ain't getting in.
He has one reception for 1 yard. That's probably that.
That was it.
Don't get too distracted by the football game here. We have a podcast to record.
I won't.
Speaking of that, that's episode number 27. So you know what that means.
We got to name the podcast.
Well, kind of. I'm not doing that as much. I may do it in the description of this episode. Because I think more people click on it if it says, like, whatever. They're going to be like, why the hell would I care about?
Great description.
Imagine if it's like the Chuba Hubbard episode. Like,
Great
who the hell's going to care about the Chuba Hubbard episode? They'll be more likely to. Maybe I'll be like episode number and then name the athlete.
I see.
This is episode number Saquon Barkley. So I can't think of any 27s off the top of my head, but that's why you're here. Well, 26, Mike Lowell would have been great too. I didn't think about Mike Lowell until right now.
There you go. Marlin.
No, Red Sox.
He was a Miami Marlin. Well, Florida Marlin is what he was.
He was a Red Sox.
All right, I got. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. I got 11 written down for you here.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, Mike Trout.
He's a pretty good candidate.
Yeah. Oh, Keon just got a touchdown.
Yes.
That's the last thing we wanted. Second is Eddie George.
Who's that?
He's running back for Ohio State and the Tennessee Titans for many, many, many years.
What years?
I don't know. A lot of people think he screwed Tommy Frazier out of the Heisman.
Oh, so that long ago.
They think Tommy Frazier should have won it. Third, Catfish Hunter, Hall of Fame Yankees pitcher.
I know who that is.
Fourth is Vladimir Guerrero.
I know who that is.
Played for Montreal.
Yeah.
When they were in existence, the Montreal Expos.
For some reason, I remember him for the Angels.
Yeah.
Well, later in his career.
When Montreal folded, he ended up there. But
it's like when I think of Frank Thomas, I think of him as like when he played for the Blue Jays at the end of his career too. Because that's when because in the video game, that's when they had their hat. He had the Blue Jays hat on. So I was like, oh, he's a Blue Jay.
Well, that's what happens when the White Sox player uses Nugenics. He becomes a Blue Jay. We have Steve Atwater.
I don't know who that is.
Defensive back.
I don't know old football players. If you can't tell.
Cheater. Jose Altuve of the Astros. Somebody you might know. Carlton Fisk, catcher.
I know who that is.
Yeah. The crime dog, Fred McGriff.
I know Fred McGriff.
All right. Juan Marichal.
I don't know who that is.
San Francisco Giants Hall of Fame pitcher.
Who is it?
Juan Marichal.
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh. This one's for your sister Grace. Jamal Murray. Denver Nuggets.
No offense to Jamal Murray. He's not one of the greatest. 27.
And
not yet.
Last is Don Sutton.
I know who that is.
Hall of Fame pitcher of the Dodgers.
All right. Go back to him again.
Mike Trout.
Candidate for sure.
we got a fish theme here. Mike Trout, catfish hunter. Eddie George, Vladimir Guerrero, Steve Atwater, Jose Altuve, Carlton Fisk, Fred McGriff, Juan Marichal, Jamal Murray, and Don Sutton.
Who do you think?
I'm leaning towards Vladimir Guerrero just because he's one of the last players to play for the Montreal Expos before they...
What's that got to do with it? Just because we like the Expos?
No, we don't like the Expos. It's just, they don't exist anymore, and he played for them. So I thought that was kind of...
Well, it's true. Cool. Seattle Supersonic that award number 27.
I don't know any.
Oh, well, that's true. I was going towards Mike Trout.
Well, I figured you probably were.
What's that supposed to mean? I know Vladimir Guerrero.
Well, I know you are. It wasn't an insult.
When Mike Trout's career's over, he's going to be hired, Vlad Guerrero.
All right. Seems a little fishy, but we'll go with it.
Well, we can go.
I'm trying to get you to go with Vladimir Guerrero, but it seems like I'm swimming upstream. I'm here for levity, folks. Thank you.
That was very fisky of you. We can go with Vlad Guerrero. I feel like I chose the last few, so we'll go with Vlad Guerrero for you.
No, I'm fine with Mike Trout. Vladimir Guerrero just set up my other jokes.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I guess Mike Trout's the guy.
All right. So,
you're being a real pain in the bass.
Oh boy,
that's a good one.
No, it's not. So we mentioned it, but you have started a new job. How is that going?
Oh, did we mention it? Oh, yeah. I guess I have mentioned it.
Yeah,
it's all right. I'm just training so far.
You're no longer making any rings, so
yeah. Oh, yeah. I do remember that conversation. It was 2 weeks ago, man. It's going all right. I'm just training.
Mm-hmm.
They just have me sit in the classroom and they teach me a lesson. They say, all right, take a quiz about it. Then they grade it and then they give it back to us and they say, all right, next lesson. And then we have another PowerPoint and then we take another quiz. And then sometimes they give us a break and then sometimes we get to go to lunch for an hour. So that's it. I got to do that for another week and a half.
Mm.
I think I officially start because I'm going to be a claims person. So if you have insurance claims, you have to deal with me trying to not give you all the money you need. Well, I'll give you the money you need, but just the money for the stuff that's covered. But so I have to take a Texas licensing exam so I can get my adjuster license. And then I don't know what day that is, but then we have a half day on next Thursday. It's not this Thursday, but the next one. So I still have a decent bit. It's pretty easy right now. I'll have to study and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's there was one section today that was 2 hours long, and then we had a quiz.
Mm.
I felt pretty good, but then when I took it, because you take it right afterwards, you can't use your notes. So then I was like, fuck. I remember talking about this, but I don't remember what it is. I missed 8 of 25.
Mm.
So.
What was that grade?
7. I don't know. He just says 17 out of 25, and he keeps track of what we get, and then whoever has the most gets a gift card or something. But I'm probably not going to get it because I've struggled on a couple.
How many people are in your class?
So it's 13 for orientation. Then we had 6 that are claims, but then 2 of them are work comp people, so they have their own separate thing. So there's just 4 of us now.
Mm.
I had to learn about parts of a house today.
Mm.
This type of roof and this type of roof. What this piece is called and what's that called.
Mm.
So a lot of shit I never knew.
Well, that's good. So at spring event, you can literally raise the roof.
Stupid. You're making fun of me.
Better than the bass joke.
No, that was a good one. The triangle roofs that go to a point, that's called a gavel. I didn't know that's
gavel.
It's called a gavel, and I don't remember what the other one was called. The pyramid looking roof. But I don't know what it's called.
Hmm.
Oh, our instructor did tell a dad joke today he did the roast beef and the pea soup joke. You know that one?
Mm-mm.
What's the difference between roast beef and pea soup? Everyone can roast beef, but not everyone can pea soup.
Hmm.
It's a good one.
I don't know anybody pea soup, but okay.
And we were talking about maritime insurance,
ship
boats can get insurance.
I see,
but they don't have. That was a bit. Okay.
Where's our rim shot sounder? I'd be using that thing up.
I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story now because you said that. But one thing it covers is about Jetsons, and then he said the Jetsons instead of Jetsons. I thought it was kind of funny. I was going to say something about Elroy, but I didn't.
His boy Elroy.
Daughter
his wife.
Judy.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. So let's get into some actual topics.
All right. What you got?
Oh, first, I'll do this because I'll introduce it, okay?
Okay.
Because we'll probably talk about football. We got to give a round of applause. You know why we're giving a round of applause?
No.
All right, you can stop clapping. The 7-2 Dolphins are still going to be the only undefeated team in NFL history. So we have to give them a round of applause.
Raise a glass of champagne and a toast.
If you watch NFL primetime, every time that happens, they always do the champagne popping sound effect.
Yeah, and the clinking glasses.
Yeah. So this will give a shout out to them. I haven't watched primetime in a few weeks. I usually watch it.
I haven't watched it since they rebooted it.
Well, because Booger McFarland's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, it was. I had that written down. It was a bad week for undefeated teams, whether you're in college or pro.
Yeah, that's kind of. I knew you said that, so
yeah.
Transition.
USC got knocked off at Notre Dame. Louisville lost at Pittsburgh. San Francisco lost yesterday to
the Browns
with the backup quarterback, believe it or not, and then Philly lost to the Jets. The suddenly 3-3 Jets. What the hell's going on there?
They have a good defense.
Well,
Jalen Hurts screwed that game when he threw that pick.
Well, yeah. Usually when you get a game where a team's like undefeated and the other team's, let's say, has a lesser record and they end up winning, usually the team that's undefeated kind of helps them out. I mean, Caleb Williams against Notre Dame, he had 3 turnovers. Notre Dame had a big punt return or kickoff return. And so, these good teams just don't need a lot of help. And, sometimes it's just a few plays here and there. It makes a difference between an undefeated team and a 3-3 team. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Francisco losing to P.J. Walker and the Browns.
Yeah. Well, then McCaffrey got hurt, so him going out didn't help. And
he was missing a receiver too, right?
Yeah. Debo Samuel, I think, was out and hurt. And
well, because they're showing stats of Brock Purdy without McCaffrey and all his weapons. Because he's not good. But then people say Mac Jones. People are raving. He's going to lose that job in New England if he hasn't already.
Well, I'm surprised he keeps starting, but they probably just don't have any better options.
Well, he's definitely not the future of New England. Like most people were kind of excited for. After his first year, he showed a lot of decent promise. Not like crazy potential, but like he could be kind of a Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo type. But no, it's been really bad lately.
And Jimmy G got hurt yesterday.
They said it's not his back. They said it's not going to be as bad as they thought. But yeah, speaking of the Jets, though, Aaron Rodgers was out there throwing balls on the field.
I saw
already
that.
Without crutches.
Yeah, they said he took some kind of shot or something.
I don't know. I'm not going to make jokes about.
Cowboys touchdown, 4th and 1. Dak Prescott faked the handoff and took the draw all the way up the middle.
We don't fucking care.
20 yards.
We don't fucking care about him.
It was a good play by them.
We don't care. I got Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb. Fucking stupid Dak Prescott running in. Who does he think he is?
Nathan goes to his phone to check the score on his fantasy game.
Of course. I'm projected to win now. That's not good.
Oh, he almost fumbled on the fake. Pulling the ball back to himself, and he almost lost it.
Stop distracting me.
That'd be typical Cowboys.
So, yes, Aaron Rodgers, he was doing stationary throws. He didn't have crutches. And apparently they said he was stepping into throws on his Achilles.
Nice.
So everyone's speculating that, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers could come back later in the year maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then some guy from CBS Sports said he could even be on the path to come back week 15.
Wow.
But that was just one guy from CBS Sports. So I wouldn't take too much consideration into that. But piece of shit, Aaron Rodgers is going to get out for the year and then win the Super Bowl with the Jets, and he's going to screw us out of our first-round pick. But anyways, it's good to see Aaron Rodgers back on the field, as much as he's kind of weird. But he's making millions of dollars to be on the Pat McAfee show. Yeah. Did you see that report?
I saw he was on there because he's
on there every week.
Yeah, one of my deliveries is in a hotel, and they play. I think it's ESPN2. They always have it on, and they show the Pat McAfee show. So sometimes when I walk in, I see them interviewing him. So, but they don't have the sound on. But
they say they pay him millions of dollars to go on that show, and then I think they have Nick Saban on every week now. And then
they pay him millions of dollars.
I have no idea.
Like Affleck does.
He'd be pissed because he's talking about how bad the NIL is, and then he's going to be on there making millions on the Pat McAfee show.
Where's Pat McAfee getting all this money?
He's doing everything right now, if you couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm. I know, he's like everywhere.
He was at WWE Fastlane pay-per-view 2 weeks ago because he did call it commentary for him. But he had stopped doing it because he got the job at College Game Day.
Oh.
So he conflicted with his schedule. He couldn't do it anymore. So he was fun for a while. He's kind of getting he's still entertaining, but it's just not like, oh my god, Pat McAfee, I gotta watch the show. I do like AJ Hawk though; he's on that show. We like AJ Hawk around here. All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, AJ Hawk. So, anyways, not to get off on that tangent. So, you excited Aaron Rodgers is going to come back?
Sure. All-time great player, and the game would be better for it if he plays. I'm sure the Jets teammates won't mind seeing him come back.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything NFL really written down besides that. Do you want to talk about any teams or something? Jordan Love looked really bad on Monday Night Football the other night.
Yeah, he really struggled, but
I didn't watch it, and I'm not going to go back and watch it.
Well, bye weeks are starting to hit now, so some of these teams will have a chance to kind of regroup and recover. If they have guys that are injured and kind of rebound and come back, kind of with the second wind, and we'll kind of see where these teams are at after that, and see if anybody needs to make some changes or tries to make some changes in personnel or coaching or what have you. Nothing really has happened yet. So, but we'll keep our eye out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go through the scores here and see if there's anything I want to talk about. Just real quick. Dolphins are still the Dolphins, 42 points. Mm-hmm. So the game against the Bills was.
Carolina made a little bit of a game for a bit.
Yeah. Jaguars kind of hitting their stride now on offense the last few weeks.
Overseas. They just had to go overseas. That's all it was.
Well, that's their home territory pretty much.
I guess.
They beat the Bills, and then they kind of whooped on the Colts yesterday.
I did see some random chatter about possibility that London might host the Super Bowl one year.
Yeah.
Not excited about that?
Yeah, I don't really want to watch Super Bowl at 1 p.m.
Well, they usually give them 2 weeks, so they wouldn't have to worry about adjusting, to the time frame because they'd have that extra time to get it, used to the schedule over there. So that shouldn't be much of a factor. But I know you say, well, the fans, well, it's so corporate now anyway. It's really not. You don't have a lot of just fans going to these games. It's all people who's work for corporations that have money to get tickets for these things or their sponsorships like Pepsi or Doritos or Budweiser or whoever.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not too concerned about that part, because no one can fucking afford to go to the Super Bowl even if they wanted to. But, yeah, I don't know. It'd just be kind of weird, time difference. If they played at, it'd be I think it is 1 p.m. It'd be 8 over there. I'm not sure.
I think there's a 6-hour time difference, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That'd be kind of interesting if they do it at noon or something. Mm-hmm. But Lions are 5-1.
Yeah.
Looking pretty damn good on defense and offense.
Well, they battling some injuries. Jahmyr Gibbs was out, and then now David Montgomery got a rib injury, I think it was. So,
David
thank you. Appears he's going to be out for at least a couple weeks. I know they have a bye week coming up, so that'll help give him time to recover. But yeah, the injury's just kind of hitting everybody now.
Other than that, it's kind of an ugly weekend, to be honest, scoring-wise. Yeah. 49ers didn't do much. The Ravens always look like a big struggle on offense. They have a hard time scoring. Yeah. Even though they did put up 24 against the Titans. Mm-hmm. Bengals only 17 again. Vikings 19-13 against the Bears. That's an ugly game.
Yeah, well, Justin Jefferson's out. He's on the IR, so he's out for 3 more weeks.
And they weren't doing much with him anyways. I just like hating on the Vikings, sorry. Raiders, Pats, ugly. Eagles, Jets, kind of ugly. Bills, Giants was really ugly last night.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. I turned it on with 6-0 Giants. I was like, what the hell is going on? It was almost halftime.
Yeah, but they won on the last play of the game at the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
They threw it to fucking the weird thing to Waller.
They ended both halves on the goal line. The first half and second half, they ended the half and the game on the 1-yard line and didn't score either time.
Well, because they called a pass interference on the one. To have to untie down, and then there was more of a pass interference on the next play than the first one.
I wouldn't say it was more, but it was basically the same thing. He was holding on to his jersey, and that's what they called the previous play, and then that play they didn't call it. So
I thought there was more of an egregious hold on that one than the other one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
because the other one he was kind of just in front, so you could see how they called it. But the other one he was really tugging on Waller. But it was hard because even if he wasn't, I think positional wise, he had a hard time reaching up and grabbing it.
Well, because
I don't think it made a big difference.
Well, the ref was behind him. That would have called it. So I don't think the ref could really see that it was being pulled. So
yeah. So But anyways, that was an entertaining game actually at the end. But yeah, that's all I had for NFL.
Well, we did our buy, sell, hold last week. You haven't changed your opinion on any of the teams, have you?
I don't remember what teams you asked me. But I think the Niners and all, I think I'm pretty okay with what I got.
Okay.
I think I said hold on the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on a hold for the Ravens. I don't remember what else you asked me, though. But there was something I was going to say, now I don't remember what I was going to go for. Fine.
As he turns the page.
There's nothing over here. Very worth mattering. Okay. So, you want to talk about Nebraska football?
Yeah. You said you made some notes from Matt Rhule's press conference today. What'd you hear?
All right. Or do you want to talk about the two games first?
Let's go with the press conference since we said we were going to. So let's go with that.
Okay, well, I didn't get tie in better the other way. But that's okay. So, just fun quotes about Matt Rhule he had at the press conference. He was talking about people talking about how the coaches and like the decisions. And he was saying the coaches are doing good. I'm at the helm. This is a good thing. We're all doing well. And he's saying, his quote was, the program is not in good shape, but he's at the helm and they're going to fix it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He's talked about how there were good coaches in the past, but they've had a hard time playing well in the second half of the year. And then he talked about their attitude where it's like, oh, we play really bad, and then we get embarrassed, so then we come out and play well the next game, and then we kind of play all right, and then we come out and then we play really shitty against Michigan, and then we get mad, so then we come out and play good against Illinois, and how that's kind of not the right frame of mind that's in the program right now. You want to play that way, and you want to play hard every single time. You don't want to be a team that goes out there, oh, man, we feel bad for ourselves, we'll make ourselves feel better and play really well, and then just kind of go through the same cycle over and over again. So, well,
we talked about that some at the beginning of the year when we talked about expectations. We weren't focused on the record so much. We just wanted a team that didn't turn the ball over, cut back on penalties, and played hard. That was basically what we said we wanted out of a team. So for him to say that sometimes they don't play hard, that's reflection of the players, but that's a reflection on coaching too. And if he says that the coaches are doing well, then he to me, that's kind of a contradiction of the coaches doing well if he says they're not playing hard every week.
Well, I think he's saying that's the programs. That's kind of that's not the team he wants to be. He's trying to instill that out of him. So I don't. Yeah. So he's saying he's got the right coaches and the right staff in place for that to work. He's just saying that's the way the program is, and he need to get that out of him. Yeah. He said he doesn't want this to be the kind of team that they are.
Definitely.
Because he was talking about at the Illinois game when they were winning, everyone was chanting "Go Big Red," and then they were throwing up the bones, and all the players were over there with the crowd like hyping them up. He said Matt Rhule usually doesn't like that. He wants them to like stay focused on the game and watch the game and support his teammates. But then he said he also realizes that's kind of how it is nowadays. You hype up the crowd, you get yourself hyped up for the game, and that's kind of a way. And he said, he goes, that's not really my attitude, but I'm more willing to let people do that, and I'll be more involved in that if it leads to people having a better attitude and playing better on the field. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I like that he's willing to, because he's talked about, you've mentioned it before, this is a 4-year build, but I want to compete this year because there's kids that want to. He's changing his philosophy to fit the culture of the team, which is good because you can't, I hate the people that come in, this is the way I want to do it. We got to do it exactly this way. Mm-hmm. And then it's just kind of, well, you can't expect people that don't fit your system to play your system. Exactly. You got to revolve your system around the players. Yeah. And that's what the best coaches do.
When you practice, you look for their strengths and you see what they do best. I mean, I know they've gone to Ron Brown some, and they've even spoken to Coach Osborne or ex-Coach Osborne a little bit about the option. They've trying to work some of that into their game plan with Heinrich Harburg. Now he's got to pitch it every once in a while to make to keep the team defense honest, but I mean, why not? If you have those people with that kind of knowledge about that kind of offense, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? But you'd be dumb not to.
Did you watch that speech I sent you? Did you watch Matt Rhule's speech against Northern Illinois?
Yes.
If we die, we die. If we die, we die. What a man!
I cannot be defeated.
No, he's not Ivan Drago. But yeah, that clip was going around from the Go Big Rewind. Lock in on this moment. I always like a motivational speech. Mm-hmm. And Kevin Durant even said this is it. Nice. So shout out Matt Rhule getting all the attention. Shout out
Kevin Durant.
Oh, and then he officially said I heard you talking to Bill on the phone. He officially said Harburg's the starter as of now. But he says Sims is going to be ready to go whenever he's called on. So Sims is healthy, but they're sticking with the Harburg man, the non-pitcher.
Shout out Bill Curtis, my buddy.
Yeah, so shout out to him. And then Malachi Coleman's going to be starting wide receiver now.
Oh, he should be.
And he also said he needs to get Billy Kemp way more involved than what he is.
They need to get him more touches. He's the most dynamic player.
So that's kind of all the highlights. I just saw a few minute clips and wanted to talk about it because I did like what he said about how the program's in a bad state, and he admits it and how he needs to get it out of his players. So because he also said, he said, I still have a lot of respect for all the former coaches, but we're not a second half of the year team. Well, and we need to make sure that we are. We need to play with conviction and effort every week, not just when we're feeling sorry for ourselves.
Well, Coach Rhule, he respects the game. He respects the players. He respects the people who coach in it. He respects the umpires. He just respects the game as a whole.
Somebody's yelling at
them. And Scott Frost's predecessor, he had no problem, throwing the old coaches underneath the bus from the last program. He would always say, well, they hadn't done this, or they left this bare. We didn't have this, or they didn't do this. Well, Matt Rhule is not like that. He doesn't like to, he tries to be complimentary and respect. I mean, he talked a lot when Coach Solich was retiring. They had him back for the spring game. He talked a lot about him and the respect that for him and Coach Osborne and stuff like that. So
who's throwing people under the bus? Sorry,
Scott Frost was the former staff. He was throwing the previous staff before them under the bus, saying they hadn't done some stuff right or what have you.
Well,
so
apparently he didn't do a whole lot right.
Well, yeah.
Well, like I said, the frustrating thing about Frost is you saw the potential of his team. They just couldn't fucking win a game.
Yeah,
they play well against everybody and couldn't win.
Well, we talked about it way back because it was just frustrating because I remember Scott as a player and he was just a hard nose. He transferred back from Stanford and the defense just beat the crap out of him. And he put his head down and he just grinded to earn the respect of the team and win the starting job. And, he had a struggle the first year he was there, but he turned around and brought the team to a national championship. But his teams just never seemed to reflect what he was as a player, which I don't know why or, where he lost that, but that was a bad throw. But
sorry,
Dak Prescott just threw kind of like a sidearm thing into the ground when he had a guy open. But yeah, it was just frustrating to see Scott's team just wouldn't reflect what he was as a player. But that's he's gone now and he's doing.
We don't care about him anymore.
I think he's doing an analyst job for somebody somewhere.
So does this mean Nebraska's winning the Big Ten West?
No. I was talking to Jed from Big Red Junkies at work. Shout out Big Red Junkies and Jed. I don't think the Northwestern game is going to be as easy as a game as people seem to think it is. I mean, Northwestern always gives us a tough game, and yeah, they're having their issues and what have you. But basically, these teams from the rest of the year, and I think what Iowa did to Wisconsin is basically what Iowa's going to do to Nebraska. They're just going to come out and stack the box and say, well, you're going to have Heinrich Harburg throw to your lesser than star receivers to beat us.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Nebraska-Iowa is going to be the worst game to ever watch. It's going to be going to be a terrible game to watch.
It's going to be what they used to call back in the days a slobber knocker. It's just going to be real physical. These guys are going to be just pounding it at each other.
It's going to be 9-7. I have a feeling. Right.
But
it's going to be really bad.
Neither one of these quarterbacks are much of a thrower. So I mean, you might have less than 20 pass attempts for the whole game.
Well, Wisconsin, Tanner Mordecai's out now because he broke his hand, I think. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be out for a few weeks. Purdue's a mess. Illinois is a mess. Minnesota's a mess. This is I don't know what they're going to realign everything, right? When Oregon.
Yeah, this is the last year division. It's just going to be open.
Oh, that's probably for the best because it's always going to be Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State all fighting for that one spot, and then Iowa comes in, plays them.
Well, yeah, because you and I were looking ahead to next year, and we're the couple of games we hadn't been to yet are out of town. Were Indiana and Ohio State, and we thought maybe Indiana might be the one that might be more on par. I would love to go to Ohio State, but I don't want to go see Nebraska get shellacked. But they're talking, moving that game possibly to a Friday night, so that would affect our travel plans a little bit. But we'll see.
Well, if Nebraska's competitive in a few years, we'll go to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
at least see a competitive game. It doesn't have to be a win.
Yeah.
So, and then college football. Did you see Stanford made their biggest football comeback in history against Colorado?
That was Friday night. What was that? We were at the hockey game.
Yeah, and they started.
And we just sat down, and I said, well, Colorado's already up 7-0. We're like, oh. And then when the hockey game was over, we saw that they had lost. And then I went back and watched the highlights the next day. And this receiver for Stanford, I didn't catch his name, but he went off. I think he had like 230-some yards receiving, scored a couple touchdowns, like 13 catches. He had like a 95-yard touchdown catch and run, and then made this really incredible catch over Hunter, the freshman from Colorado, just came back. He was going backwards. He was kind of backpedaling, and then Hunter was facing him, so he couldn't see the ball, and then it was short. So the Stanford guy reached around and actually caught it behind, and then kind of used Hunter's helmet to hold it and pin it to his helmet while he backpedaled. And then the fact that his helmet was curved, the ball finally slipped off the guy's helmet, and he cradled it and fell into the end zone for a touchdown. So it was a pretty immaculate catch. And Colorado's got quite the dynamic offense, but their defense still needs a lot of work. I mean, but you see the stuff out there. They're recruiting. I mean, they got guys coming and got all kinds of big names showing up in town to watch their teams play and what have you. But I think my quote was because Deion said, I'm bringing my own luggage and it's Louis. I said, well, they might have a Louis offense, but they still have a Samsonite defense. So they still have some work to do. But
his name is Alec Manor, by the way.
Oh, very good.
The receiver for Stanford.
The Cardinal.
Yes.
Singular, not plural. The Cardinal.
Yeah.
It's not the Cardinals.
I watched the end of it on my computer here because it started when we left the hockey game.
Mm.
So.
And Cardinal is not the bird; it's the color.
Yeah, and they had a big. They went down like 95 yards.
And they have that big tree as a mascot.
They went down like 95 yards to kick a game-tying field goal. So.
Yeah,
pretty impressive by Stanford.
That kicker they have is pretty good from like 50 in. He's something else.
So that was exciting to watch. And then like I said, I'm not a big Colorado hater. Like I don't mind Deion and Shedeur and all them. It's just because it's Colorado. It's kind of like,
well,
we don't care.
He talks respect and before the game, for your opponent, blah blah blah, under the guise of a little bit of religion, but then his players go out and don't really exemplify that, in my opinion. Going out and then holding up your Rolex watch or whatever. I don't know why some kids, in a football uniform wearing a Rolex watch and then taunting the student section of Arizona State. I mean, I don't understand all that. That's not respecting your opponent or, the game as far as I'm concerned. But it is what it is,
Well, it is kind of just stupid celebration too, because like, oh wow, cool, your kid is Deion Sanders, you got a Rolex, cool.
But that's Deion. That's just always been his way. He's flashy, but then but he always talks about how he respects everybody. But he really doesn't.
You can still respect
all
him.
Talk.
You can still respect and be taunting at the same time. But
I don't think taunting and respect go hand in hand. I think that's two different
in the field of the game. Yeah, if you make a good play, I'm gonna be like, hell, you see that catch? But then you can still understand and respect
you can celebrate
afterwards.
You can celebrate something you've done well, but getting in somebody's face or showing them up, that's not respect.
Well, what if they're talking smack to you, and then you talk smack back?
You gotta be bigger. But that's just a what if. We don't know. We don't know what they're saying on the field.
Well, that's formalism stuff.
Of course, based on what they said about Matt Rhule when Nebraska played him, they make shit up just to motivate themselves. So, but that's what some of the Nebraska people said. If they need to make shit up to motivate themselves, whatever. But don't be lying about people just to motivate yourself.
Well, that's a different topic. But no, the point I wanted to make about the watch thing was as soon as they won, you saw the Stanford kids go out. They saw start doing it. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So I just think the celebration's done. But I think you can taunt or celebrate. I'm okay with
that. He's got to have somebody on the sideline holding his watch so when he wins, he can put it on and show everybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a dumb celebration.
Yeah. But speaking of great celebrations, did you see Tyreek Hill yesterday when he scored?
No. I saw a clip.
He ran into the end zone, And then he was like making sure they counted it. And then he pointed at somebody, ran over there, and the guy had his phone out. So he grabbed the guy's phone and he did a backflip while filming himself on the phone and then gave it back to the guy. So I'm really hoping the guy shares it somewhere and we'll get to see it. And he said at his conference, he goes, well, I know I'm going to get fined by the NFL because, they're not going to be happy about it. But I thought it was pretty cool to do that, have it going and then land this backward somersault. Because you see a lot of times the guys do that and they kind of stumble forward or whatever. But he stuck it. I mean, he nailed the landing. So
he's also the one creative. He just got fined $20,000 for not wearing socks. So, I mean, the NFL just fines you for whatever the hell.
Well, you need to wear socks. It's a safety issue.
Is it?
Yeah, you get turf toe if you don't wear socks.
Well, he don't care.
I'm teasing. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. It's dumb. But, yeah. Okay, college football done on my part. Do you have anything else? Do you see the way my pitch stood up? That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish we had the video going.
Well, you can contribute some money towards the webcam. We got it.
I gave you money for the sounding thing that didn't work.
Yeah, well, it didn't work. It did work. It's just not compatible. He overthrew. That's not Keenan Allen, so we don't care.
Kelly.
Yes.
Josh Kelly.
I have some baseball stuff.
Let's go. We're in playoffs. World Series or bust. 4 teams.
Why are you yelling?
Rangers, Astros.
Yeah.
Phillies. Philly captain's all excited. There's a Philly captain reference this week as they play the Diamondbacks. And JT Realmuto said it's going to be difficult to beat Arizona because of their confidence level they have going right now. You should put it in multi-view. Nathan's switching over to the game now.
Phillies up 3-0 already.
Phillies up 3-0. Bottom of the third. No outs. Runner on second. Trey Turner.
And Bryce Harper.
It looks like Bryce Harper up to bat. And we actually visited this stadium this year. Oh, there's a hit. That's going to be a run. It's going to be 4-0 Phillies. We actually visited this stadium this year. So it's kind of nice when you watch a game on TV and you think, oh, I wonder what it's like there. Well, to actually been there and know what the stadium's like, it's pretty cool that, to have that frame of reference. Yeah.
So, speaking of that, I haven't watched any of the baseball.
I actually watched because, you mentioned earlier the Giants and the Bills were kind of a bore fest. I actually watched the Rangers and Astros last night.
Well, the Philly Fanatics are very happy.
Oh, I'm sure he is. He's a fanatic. And I'm sure the Philly captain is too.
We don't care about him.
Stop we do.
No, stop
talking. We love the Philly captain.
Stop talking about the fucking.
Here we are.
This part's getting edited out.
No, it's not. Because you don't like to edit.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, it's exciting, and nobody loves their sports more than Philadelphia fans. They could be assholes, but I'll tell you what, they're enthusiastic and they show out. So there was a sports writer on the radio the other day, and he says when they were playing the Braves last series, he goes, "It's probably cheaper to fly to Atlanta, get a hotel, get an Uber to the game, go to the game, and then fly back than it is to try to get a ticket in Philadelphia." That's how expensive it is, he says. So,
but shout out Torey Lovullo. I don't know how to say his name. Lovello, but he used to be the Red Sox bench coach before he got hired.
Nice.
So, shout out him.
Yeah.
But anyways, before you went off on that big tangent, I got some baseball news.
The word of the night is tangent. There'll be a spelling test after this.
Today's letter today is T.
We're turning into Sesame Street.
I know, that's what I'm saying. No, but we want to talk about Orlando Arcia and the Braves controversy. But you said you weren't familiar with this.
I am not familiar with this.
Well, you have that up, so I guess I won't talk about that later. I'll let you talk about it. But you didn't hear anything about this?
Well, maybe if you delve into it, I might. But
well, did you watch the ALDS Game 2? Atlanta ALDS Game 2, Atlanta versus Philly.
NLDS?
Whatever. You know what I mean.
No, I did not.
Sorry, NLDS.
Well, because I hadn't seen it, you were kind of confusing me. I'm like, well, why is she talking about? Maybe they said
she.
I know I didn't say that.
Yeah, you said why is she talking about? You're too busy looking at your next thing.
I said why did he?
No, you said she.
Hey ho! The Philly Fanatics guy. I'm going hey ho.
Can you stop? Okay, I'm about to turn off the TV if you.
Well, I thought maybe they were talking about something that happened in the American League because I wasn't familiar with it.
No, the Braves and the Philly. Sorry, the NLDS. And don't say she, please. You can go back and listen to it. You said she, but okay.
Oh, I will. I was listening to.
So the end of the game was there was a fly ball to center field, and I don't know who made the catch out there. It was a good catch, and then they threw back to first base and got Bryce Harper out.
Okay.
It was a double play to end the game.
Okay.
And so the Braves were celebrating in the locker room.
Okay.
Well, there was a bunch of media in there, and someone reported that Orlando Arcia was yelling "Attaboy Harper" because he made that mistake. And so it's kind of like a taunt. And so, Bryce Harper heard about this, and he kind of used this for motivation. So he hit 2 home runs in Game 3, and each time he went about the bases, he stared right at Arcia as he rounded it. Both times, he just stared at him really hard and ran around. Well, there was a big controversy about, well, did you regret saying this to Bryce Harper to like piss him off and make him like very competitive? Well, he said it while he was in the locker room with the media around, and he goes, well, he wasn't supposed to hear me say that. That was just a clubhouse thing. So then what Bryce Harper uses as fuel motivation. So now people are pissed that someone reported this because there's a controversy about whether the locker room's a sacred place. So if things that stay in the locker room should stay in the locker room. But he said it and yelled this out right in front of a bunch of media people. So some people are ripping on the media guy for reporting it, and then some people are defending him, saying, well, he's just doing his job and he has a lot of journalistic integrity. Alana Rizzo on Mad Dog Russo's show on the MLB Network, she called him like a fraud or whatever. She said a bunch of mean stuff about him. She had to go on and apologize.
Arcia?
No, the guy that reported it. I can't remember his name. But she called him a lot of mean things about bad journalism and stuff. And she had to apologize because she got about a backlash for that.
Well,
so now there's kind of the debate. Well, if it's in the locker room and there's media there, they should be able to report on what they hear because that's their job. But then at the same time, players should have maybe a place where they can talk about things.
Well, they have the media has to wait to be let into the locker room. They don't get to just go in there all willy-nilly. So RC's been around long enough to know that the media is going to be in there within a certain amount of time. I mean, maybe the playoffs is a little bit different, but and also the fact because it's the playoffs, you're going to have more media coverage.
That's the photo of him staring at him.
I did see that photo, but I didn't know the context of it. But okay, he said it, but he was celebrating the game. All right. Harper made a mistake. He's like, attaboy, Harper. Well, it's not like he was taunting him. He was just like excited, and he was like, I don't consider that a taunt. I mean, he was just excited, and it wouldn't matter if it was Bryce Harper or who it was. He would have said, attaboy, Riamilto or Turner. It's just, guys just have to find something to motivate themselves. And whether it's like we talked about with Colorado, whether it's made up or not. I mean, yeah, and Arcia said it wasn't supposed to be heard, but I don't know if that's what Harper, heard, then I guess great. Are you going to tell me he wouldn't have hit 2 homers if Arcia wouldn't have said that in the locker room?
Well, Bryce Harper seems like the kind of guy that would take criticism and use it. He's like a Jimmy Butler.
But the pitcher still has to throw a pitch that he can homer on. It's not like he can just homer on any pitch because he's pissed.
Well, he could.
Because otherwise it's like, well, why don't you play like that all year then?
Well, some people just need, it's the playoffs. Some people need more motivation.
Well, it's the playoffs. You shouldn't need extra motivation.
It's like Jimmy
Butler.
Butler.
Chance to go to the World Series.
It's like Jimmy Butler's Michael Jordan in the playoffs, and then in the regular season he averages like 16. Because he knows in the playoffs you have to take it to another level.
Well, he needs to. If he wants to keep moving, he has to because his teammates aren't enough to do it.
Well, that's true. But no, the reporter was Fox Sports. Jake Mintz is his name.
Never heard of him.
And he's like a baseball writer. He's part of like
I'm sure he
BBWAA. Okay, well, he's a part of like the Writers Association.
That's fine.
Probably the people that vote for like Hall of Fame and stuff.
I don't think he's at fault.
Okay, well, can you let me finish, please?
Yeah, but was he the only one that reported it? Do we know?
I believe so.
Well,
maybe he's the one that initially came out with it.
Oh, maybe he was one of the first ones in and heard it.
No, well, Alana Rizzo was the one on MLB Network, and then she talked. You want to hear her quote?
Is she related to Anthony Rizzo?
I don't think so. But Ben Verlander was related to Justin Verlander, so maybe I'm wrong. But no, she said, and some jackoff comes in at the end of the season that gets a credential. God only knows why. And the clubhouse is a sacred place. And apparently she called him a blogger or a podcaster. But he's like a credited member of the BBWAA. And like Buster only? No, Ken Rosenthal was like, this is a stupid controversy. Like, he's real respected, and he was just doing his job. So she got a bunch of shit. She had to apologize. So there was just kind of a philosophical debate there.
Yeah, I'm on the reporter side. I mean, like I said, those players know after a certain amount of time they're let in, and if he wants to say something, there's a chance it could be heard. I mean, he could, if he saw the reporter, maybe he could have said, "Hey, I don't want you to, please don't report that," or whatever. I mean, I know guys will talk to, reporters and ask them not to report certain things, but as far as what that lady said, I mean, that's not right either. But I do know, like in the playoffs and like around here, when there's like a bowl game, all of a sudden there's these extra people covering the post game conferences or press conferences that aren't normally there. That aren't really sports people. They're there for the human interest side, and I'm using air quotes. And they tend to come in there, and a lot of times they ask leading or stupid questions. But if this guy had been there, if it was like his first time there all season, then maybe I would have said, well.
It's like when Drake tried to get in the locker room when the Cavs won the finals and they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah.
I think it was the Cavs that year.
Yeah.
But that was funny. But no, I agree. So.
Yeah. I think it's a lot to do about nothing. So.
Yeah. But shout out Bryce Harper. I do like Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with him.
He also had that hat that said make baseball fun again.
I don't have any problem with Orlando Arcia either. So.
Yeah, well, I do have a problem because I picked the Braves to make the World Series and they didn't.
Well, I picked the Rays and the Dodgers, and poof, they're gone.
Oh, I can bitch about the Dodgers again. Every year they make the postseason, 0-3, they're gone. Every year. Last year we talked about this. You're like, well, sometimes the ball gets hard to hit the ball. Sometimes the wind comes in. But every year, all the Dodgers, they're this wonderful team. Suck in the postseason every year.
Well, they need to only let Kershaw pitch during the regular season because he's been shelled like all but one time he's pitched in the postseason for his career.
I mean, that's a one thing. But
nobody feels worse than he does because I mean he's Dodger, true and blue. He's been a Dodger his whole life. Nobody wants to win more than he does, but it just for whatever reason
he needs a David Price year.
Something.
David Price sucked all the time, and then he had that big series. He won the World Series with the Red Sox that one year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he pitched really well that closeout game,
and then he sucked again.
Well, we had him, and then we traded him, and we traded Mookie Betts away.
The Royals beat him in the playoffs. So,
but that was okay. Yeah, that's when he was shitty. But then he redeemed himself with us. I like David Price. I never wish he.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
They gave him a shit ton of money.
He pitched great with the Rays and with you guys. So yeah, I'm glad he was able to get a World Series. So,
but that was the deal with my Red Sox GM. And speaking of potential president of baseball operations. Did you see who left the Miami Marlins front office?
I did.
Kim Ng.
I did.
She declined her 2024 team option.
Yeah.
And apparently there was a philosophical difference.
Of opinion?
Well, they wanted to hire, I think she's the GM, technically. They wanted to hire baseball operations to be above her.
Oh.
And she wasn't a big fan, so she left.
Oh.
So now she's out there,
mm-hmm.
and there's rumors that maybe the Red Sox would be interested in hiring her.
Well, nobody else will take the job.
Well, yeah, they have the first four guys they asked said no, and I saw one of them was Craig Breslow, who was he was in the Cubs front office. Apparently, they were interested in him.
He was an ex-player. I remember him. He was
pitched
a pitcher, I think.
He pitched with us, out of the bullpen. He's a lefty, but they had a few names, but that one's kind of floating around too. And then the other thing I saw, you had the other female baseball news up. Mm-hmm. So, do you want to talk about that? I figured we'd talk about this kind of a women in baseball kind of topic.
Well, I thought you'd talk about the Boston thing because I knew you'd mentioned it to me the other day. But just Andrew Baggerly reported on the X. The Giants are formally interviewing assistant coach Alyssa Knockin for their managerial role. She's currently an assistant on the team.
Knockin'.
And she would become the first woman to be an official candidate to be a coach of an MLB team. So that's progress for women. Whether or not she gets it, I don't know. But I don't know if it's like the Rooney Rule in football. But
you have to interview a woman.
Well, it's a minority candidate in football. But yeah, that's progress. She's on the coaching staff now, so you would think the guys respect her and enough that where, she knows the game. I mean, because she has to prove herself, I'm sure, being around those guys. And
well, she's been on the staff since 2020.
Yeah,
so obviously she has to have some sort of good credentials.
So yeah, shout out to her. We mentioned last pod that Gabe Kapler got fired. So or not Gabe Kapler.
Gabe Kapler.
Gabe Kaplan. Gabe Kapler was the Welcome Back Kotter actor. Gabe Kaplan.
No, it's Kapler.
No, Kapler's the player. I said Gabe Kaplan. He's actor.
I thought you did say Kapler the first time.
I said Kaplan. So
I don't know who Gabe Kaplan is. So
Welcome Back Kotter. Look it up. So yeah, that's exciting, I think. And as a woman, you should be happy that they're making strides. That's what they all want, And who was the woman coach in basketball with the Spurs, and now
Becky Hammond?
Didn't she have an interview for a job with Toronto or somebody? Didn't we talk about that a while back?
I don't remember, but yeah, she's the coaches of the Aces still.
Yeah.
Who are in the WNBA Finals?
Yeah.
They're up 2-1 right now.
I saw that. Yeah, they were up 2-0, and then they lost yesterday. So.
Oh yeah, well I'll have to put that with my other nugget, but you probably know what the nugget is, but
it's a delicious food item.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
I usually like with barbecue sauce.
Stop. All right. So do you have anything else?
Honey mustard's not bad either.
Shut up. Do you have anything else?
Nope. I just have a nugget.
Okay. Well, I have a quiz for you. Okay.
Oh.
It's not that exciting.
We need a quiz sounder. We don't have a quiz sounder. Should I make one up like I've done before?
Maybe if I'm creative enough, I'll come up with one.
Oh.
But ESPN came out with the top 100. Shut up. Stop making noises.
Quiz time. Do you know the answer? Here's our sounder. Go.
Not. So the NBA came out.
The look of disdain he gives me is very enchanting.
The NBA. Stop talking. They came out with the top 100 NBA players.
I got to name all 100?
No.
Oh, wow.
But you got to name top 10. Oh. Can you guess who they said the number one player in the NBA
Better be Michael Jordan, or that list is whack.
This year?
Dingle.
Yeah, the top 100 players right now. Not in NBA history.
Well, I assume they were going to go with Denver.
He's not number one. He's not number one, though, so you don't got to worry about it.
I was thinking about him today, and I'm not drawing back on his name. Number one right now. Steph Curry.
No. Actually, maybe I'll help you out. Curry's number 5. I'm not going to make you go.
Jason Tatum.
He's number 6.
6? Wow.
I think that's a good spot for him.
Shane Gilgeous-Alexander.
His name's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gilgeous.
I'm happy you named him. That's the one I was nervous you want to get. He was number 8.
Somebody's been studying for fantasy basketball.
Hey, he was like my 4th-round pick last year.
Yeah.
My top 4 guys last year are all projected to be like top 15 guys. I'm
nice.
like, fuck.
Would they be dumb enough to throw Victor Wembanyama in there?
No, he's like 40-something.
Whoa.
But there is an issue. They didn't put Derek White in this top 100. It's very flawed. Derek White.
Well, since you mentioned him earlier, Jimmy Butler?
No.
No Jimmy Butler?
I think he's 12.
Wow.
If I remember correctly.
The big dude from Dallas, where's 77?
Luka
Doncic?
He's the point guard, not the big. He is 6'7", though. But yes, he's number 4.
Okay.
1 spot above Steph Curry, 2 spots above Jason Tatum.
They don't still have LeBron in there, do they?
He's number 9, behind Shea.
Wow.
You haven't named 1, 2, or 3 yet.
Jason Tatum?
You already said them.
I'm not the biggest basketball fan, as you can tell.
I know. Well, one of them you couldn't come over his name.
James Harden?
He's not in there.
The dude for Philadelphia?
Yes.
Joel Embiid?
Yes, he's number 3.
Okay.
The Denver guy is 2nd, if you can come up with his name. Grace is sitting here with her.
Number 15 in your hearts, and number 2 in your program.
Is he number 15? I don't even know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Well, it's not Jamal Murray, number 27.
It's not Jamal Murray. They have him way too high, by the way. He is number 15. I'm bad with numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know numbers that well. Unless it's like on my team.
I was just thinking about him today, too. That's funny. And now all of a sudden I just can't think of him.
Oh, you're missing 4 people. There's a number 1.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Let's see. I'm kind of DeAndre Fox.
De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron Fox?
No, he's not on
Sacramento?
No. Thank Batman for the Denver guy. Think of his enemies.
Christian Bale?
Think of his enemies. Batman's enemies.
The Joker.
Yeah. That's his nickname, the Joker.
Yeah, I know. It's like he's got like a Russian name. It's like Nikola or something, right?
Nikola. Joker.
Jokic or Jokic?
There
you go. That's funny because I was thinking about him today while I was driving around.
He's Serbian.
Oh, Serbian. Oh, sorry. Well, we're not big fans of Russia right now, anyway. Let's see.
There's 3 guys left.
I know.
You know all 3 of these guys.
This makes for good podcasting.
Yes. One
Good thing this wasn't on video. This would really be bad.
One's also European.
In the bathroom?
The grammar doesn't add up on that. Number 1 player of the world is European.
That's an old Everybody Loves Raymond reference.
All right, well, come on. You got to get these 3 basketball players.
Give me a position.
He's a power forward.
Well, it's got to be Giannis.
Yes, he's number 1.
Antetokounmpo. We just like to say Antetokounmpo.
Technically, the other 2 are power forwards as well.
Oh.
Well, one's a center, but he doesn't like to play center. He likes to play power forward instead.
Oh.
Because he likes to stay on the perimeter and shoot.
Yeah. I'm trying to run through the teams in my head. I'm going through like conference by conference, but Halliburton in there?
No, he's not. He's a good player though. I think the Wembanyama is getting compared to this player because they're kind of the same type.
Oh,
but taller.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's 7.
The guy who likes Matt Rhule speeches.
Yes, and then the last one. That's too easy of a clue.
Who's he play for?
That'll give it away.
Oh,
but
give it away.
Just imagine if you didn't shave like the middle part above your nose, what would happen?
You have a big long eyebrow.
Yes, perhaps one eyebrow.
Oh, AD.
Yes, Anthony Davis.
Oh,
number 10.
Well, once I mentioned LeBron, I kind of moved off the Lakers. I forgot about AD.
They were 10 and 9. So,
well, I think LeBron's a little high there still.
I wouldn't say high. I think 9's probably a good spot for him.
Okay.
Dad goes, okay, whatever. Yes, but the only bad thing is they didn't have fucking Derek White in this.
That was an exercise in futility there.
Ow.
So what are you Googling, Nipper?
I was going to figure out who's right out of the top 10.
Oh.
But I don't know how to get to that part of
that's all right.
The list.
This is scintillating radio or podio.
Well, I didn't know if we were going to transition to the next thing because we may have to.
Well, I think the next thing is just Nuggets, isn't it?
Yeah, but hold on. Number 11 is James Harden.
Jay-Z's at the game.
Is he?
He's pouring himself a drink.
He likes New York.
Okay.
James Harden's number. Oh, this is last
LeBron's
year.
At the game.
Last year.
Number 9. Number 9, you're on the list. He's there at the game. 7-7, second quarter. Prescott throws complete to Brandon Cooks. Nope. Michael Gallup. 8 yards. 3rd down and 2 for the Cowboys. 6.5 minutes to go.
Cool. I can't find out. Oh, it's right here. Jesus, I could not find.
Well, we know who number 12 was, so we just need number 11.
Number 11 is Devin Booker.
Oh, okay.
Number 12 is Jimmy Butler.
I said him.
Number 13 is Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, the actor?
No, the player for the Timberwolves. Number 14 is Dame. Donovan Mitchell's 15. Bam Adebayo 16. Bam! Jamal Murray 17. That's a little too high. Because he's above Paul George. He shouldn't be above Paul George. And 19 is Jaylen Brown. He shouldn't be above Jaylen Brown either. Jamal Murray's very good. He's a good playoff performer, but he's not. As soon as you win a title, Dave.
What about number 2 from the Sacramento Kings?
De'Aaron Fox. He's probably in the 20s and 30s. He's a good player.
What about what's his face for the Clippers?
Kawhi?
Yeah.
I think he's in the 20s.
Wow.
Well, because he's always hurt.
Oh, yeah. But
what stinks because he's such a good player when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Paul George.
Yeah. I know last year they played him like every other game. I wanted to see how they play him this year. Well,
now they have the rules.
Well,
you can't set out 2 stars.
Well, if it's health, if it's because of health concern, you're allowed to.
Yeah, but
that's because he's already came out and said it's a stupid rule, and he doesn't. He doesn't agree with it.
Who, Kawhi?
Yeah.
Would you see what he's like? Hey, when they were talking to him about the rule? He goes, "What rule? Can you explain it to me?" Like he didn't know about it.
Well, when they did tell him, he didn't like it.
Well, I bet he didn't.
Yeah.
But then he's funny because he doesn't know anything, and then every time they talk to Jokic about basketball, he goes, Did you have a lot of fun? No, because I had to play basketball more. Like, his whole thing is that he hates playing basketball. You got to be at home with his horses. That's pretty much his whole gimmick. Because people on Twitter go, it was funny the first 20 times, but now it's like, all right, whatever, dude. We get it. You don't like basketball. Yeah. But people on Twitter always have something to bitch about.
Well, when you can be kind of anonymous, it's
doesn't help.
It's easy.
All right, well, I'm getting tired of talking about random shit, so I'm ready to hop in this capsule. I don't know about you.
All right, well, don't close the door until I get in there.
Well, let me get the ranch, please.
Scoot over.
Maybe some honey mustard.
Scoot over.
For the nuggets.
Okay, now I'm in.
I feel like
Micah Gallup just dropped a touchdown pass in his hands.
Well, he should have threw it to CeeDee Lamb. But
CeeDee Lamb's had some big catches tonight.
Well, fucking he needs some more. I'm still down 40 points.
You need to quit dropping the F-bomb for our children listeners.
Shut the fuck up.
Whoa.
I feel like I had more nuggets than this, but I only have one written down right now. I think I had a few, and then I started writing my topics. But did you see Iowa set the women's basketball record at Kinnick Stadium?
I did see that.
They had 55,646. I mean, it's not as good.
About half of what Nebraska had from
Yeah, it's not as good.
Iowa's not bad.
But shout out Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
I like Caitlin Clark. Too bad she has to play for Iowa, though.
Starting off 34 points, I saw. So she's picking up where she left off.
But did you see the layout of the stadium?
Uh-huh.
It's like in the goal area facing vertical. So, like...
It was sideways. It was from, like, sideline to sideline. So,
but, like, why wouldn't it... They could have had a better angle.
Well, they wanted to try to get it, because that's the end of the field where there's, like, the sides and the end. So it's like you can actually have more people closer to the court by having it at one end or the other instead of right in the middle.
But you don't think, because they show photos of people on like the other end of the stadium, and they're like, we'll have binoculars trying to watch. They could have at least centered it a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they had their reasoning.
Well, I figured maybe
it was
why
ever they did it.
So. I thought it maybe had to do with like the wind. Like if they put it like in the center, it'd be easier for like wind to get in there. Because that's the thing about the volleyball and
12-yard pass to CeeDee Lamb, first down. Nathan's head just whipped around.
It's not a touchdown.
He's got whiplash now.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought maybe it's because of the wind, because like the volleyball, like
maybe
you serve the volleyball.
Yeah,
that was my wind sound effect. That was my wind sound effect. But yeah, so I figured maybe that's why. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But I mean, it's cool they set the record. But I mean, 55,000. Come on.
That's pretty good for Iowa.
Yeah, no one likes Iowa. But also the WNBA Game 3 set a record for the highest ticket sales. They sold out. The New York Liberty sold out their game.
Yeah, I
saw.
It was like
14,000.
Tony Parker was there, and Victor Wembanyama was there, and a couple other dignitaries. I think Adam Silver was there. So.
Oh, that should be another one of my nuggets. I don't have his stat line. He had like 28 points. He was a beast in his preseason game.
Yeah.
He dunked over someone from like the.
He called for the alley-oop from the free throw line and just basically just took one big giant step and boom.
And Thomas Bryant just looked and he was like, "Oh, wow." What the hell am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah. And he's only, 20, 21, 19, 20?
Something really young.
Yeah, really
young. But you can handle, step back, shoot the three. Well, 7'4".
When he kind of grows more into his body and gets stronger, he's gonna be a force.
Yeah, and then the good thing about the Spurs is that all those legends are like Tony Parker and all them, they're meeting with them. And
yeah, so we talked about that with Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson. I mean, if he can pick up any moves from Tim Duncan, he'll be tough to reckon with.
Sorry, we're watching the Cowboys here.
Nathan's looking.
That's a first down.
No, it's not.
That's a first down.
No, he's short.
No, get your ass back over there. Fuck.
They'll go for it. Your former coach will go for it.
He's going to throw a bubble screen.
Let's get on to our nugget since you played the sounder and stuff. What's your first nugget?
That was the first nugget, the Iowa thing.
Oh, that was.
And the Wembanyama thing.
Well, that was 2 nuggets.
Yes.
So you skipped my nugget.
Well, sorry. I just kind of came out there. They are going for it.
I told you.
Hopefully they don't just try and
they'll probably try to run that same play.
No. But share a nugget while I watch.
Okay. Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs is the 5th player ever in NHL history, he didn't make it,
I know,
to start the season with back-to-back hat tricks.
Ooh.
And he scored those against the Minnesota Wild and the Montreal Canadiens. He is the first NHL player to do this since Alex Ovechkin in the 2017-2018 season. And as I mentioned, 5th ever. Before that, it hadn't happened until like the early 1900s, like 1917. So if you don't know what a hat trick is, that's you score 3 goals in a game. So, and it doesn't matter how you do it, but a hat trick's pretty rare. And usually, if you're at the venue and you're rooting for the home team, and a player gets a hat trick, you're supposed to take your hat off if you have one and throw it on the ice. That's tradition in hockey. So, props to Austin Matthews after 2 games. He has 6 goals. So I'm sure he's leading the NHL in scoring.
Connor Bedard had his first goal too.
Yeah.
I'm writing this down real quick. Because 16 minutes ago, Ric Flair revealed his Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Mm.
Like, WWE Mount Rushmore, I think.
Is Victor Mignogna on there?
No, but can you guess who's on his Mount Rushmore for
I
WWE
saw
wrestlers?
you wrote down like 3 of them right in front of me.
Oh, well, I was hoping you didn't look. Did you see them all?
I saw 2 of them.
Who are the 2 you saw?
Brother! Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was the other one?
Ooh, that's a nice hit. I think you had the Undertaker on there.
Yeah, I had 2 more.
John Cena?
No.
Dun, 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 dun.
The older.
Himself?
No, he's not on there.
Oh. Paul Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino.
I was like, who? No, Bruno Sammartino. No, he's not that old. Not that old. I think 90s and early 2000s.
Ultimate Warrior?
No.
Yeah, he hates Ultimate Warrior.
A lot of wrestlers hate the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, I know.
Because he couldn't, he
he
could do 2 moves, that was it.
Well, because he didn't practice.
And he was also an asshole, I think.
Well, that's what I heard. I don't know.
Stone Cold.
Okay.
And Shawn Michaels.
I guess he's Shawn Michaels. I don't know about Stone Cold. He had kind of a limited career, but he's pretty exciting, and with the hell yeah and the beers and
he's probably the most over person ever in the 2000s. He's like, besides The Rock, I think Stone Cold's like the biggest star.
I'd put The Rock above Stone Cold myself personally, but
that's okay. I wasn't around to watch back then, but The Rock was pretty good. The Rock, talk about limited run. The Rock was very limited too. He was only doing it for like 5-6 years.
Back in the day, my son. Ron Madison and I, we used to go quite a few of the WWF events when they used to come to town down to the old Civic, when it was still around. And he would really get into it, and he'd start yelling and screaming. Yeah. Because I remember we went and saw Ultimate Warrior, and Rick Rude attacked him coming out of the locker room, and he was screaming, yeah, get him, yeah, come on. And this little kid was just looking at us like in amazement, looking at him, going, had his mouth hanging open. Just like in awe of Ron yelling and screaming. So,
have you ever seen the video of Cesaro flying into us when we're out wrestling? Because
I did see a still of a screenshot of them talking or doing a promo, and I could see your mug in the background.
Hell yeah!
So shout out to Nathan Farrell.
Third row.
Well,
in between those guys standing up.
That's what happens. You get a big event in town, and all the NFL owners turn out for the event, so they get the prime seats.
Yeah,
so
I had to spend money for those, but no, because it was like one of those house shows where they just performed. It's not like a TV show, and so it was like Cesaro and Sheamus, and it was just like a 6-man tag. Well, I think Seth Rollins was the one that threw Cesaro into the. Like, we were in the front row, and he literally threw us right into the barricade in front of us. Just, boom. And we were like, oh, fuck, because he went flying into us. Or at the beginning of the match, Roman Reigns came out, and they were beating him beforehand. And so Roman Reigns was, like, stuck in front of us, and they were just wailing on him. And I was like, yeah, kick his ass. Because that's before Roman Reigns actually has a decent persona now. That's back when he was the big dog. And
did you ever reach out and try to touch him while they're doing that?
No.
Because you always see people trying to tap,
you can
tapping him on the shoulder or this or that.
Him, yeah, but I just didn't feel like doing it. No, but Roman Reigns smelled like root beer. We always talk about that. How
no wonder you love him.
He really smelled like. I don't like him that much.
You love root
beer. I like
beer.
him now. Roman Reigns is really good now. Been 1,100 days since he's been champ still.
Thanks for coming and get the pumpkin pie out of the fridge too, by the way. I really appreciate you doing that.
Oh, by the way, I got the Tupperware in the
the
dry side of the sink.
Nice.
I washed it.
Nice.
So you can take it home.
All right.
But yeah, Roman Reigns, he's going to be champ. He's going to lose at WrestleMania 40, though, to Cody Rhodes, probably. They're building up that rematch again.
Why has Cody Rhodes become such a thing all of a sudden?
Because he was a good wrestler that they didn't use well. They had him as Stardust, not Gold.
Sure.
It was Gold because Goldust is his actual brother, half brother. And then, he's like, I don't want to be used like this anymore. He went to Ring of Honor, which is like a low-party, third-party company that's low. It's like an indie. Actually just went bankrupt, but All Elite Wrestling bought it. But he joined the Bullet Club. He was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then he was with all those guys that he was like the executive president of All Elite Wrestling. So he was there, got himself a big name on the indies. And then there's a lot of controversy going on with that. Like, he left because I don't think he agreed with all the other executives. And so he went back to WWE. And his whole thing's about finishing the story when the title his dad never won. And so he's got a good gimmick and all that. So, and he's a really good wrestler. I don't want to say he's the most over babyface, but he's one of the top baby faces. Him and LA Knight right now. LA Knight's huge. You know LA Knight?
Mm-mm.
He's kind of like a rock stone cold type.
Mm.
He's like 40. He's been on the independents forever.
Mm.
But he was on NXT when it was a thing.
So he kind of rebranded himself a little bit.
Yeah, he was on NXT when he was a thing, and then he came up, and then they had this thing called Maximum Male Models. It was like these guys who were models.
Mm.
And for some reason, Vince McMahon made him the manager of that team, and they changed his name from LA Knight to like Max Dupree, and he would like manage these guys who were model tag teams, and no one liked them. Well, when Triple H took control of creative, he scrapped that gimmick and gave him LA Knight back, and then he kind of kept losing all the time. But then all of a sudden, he just got really popular with the fans, so now they're like super pushing him.
Lifting him up.
Yeah, so now I think he's fighting Roman Reigns for the title at the next pay-per-view. They haven't announced it yet, but that's the plan. But he's going to lose because Cody Rhodes is the plan.
You heard it here first.
It's got to be a rematch from last year. Because we all thought Cody was going to win, and he lost. It sucks, but it'll be fun. But I am going to WrestleMania 41 the next year. Kavan and I made it. We're not going to this WrestleMania coming up next year. It's going to be the year after that we'll go.
Where's WrestleMania 41 being held?
They haven't announced it yet, but they said Minnesota's one of the likely favorites. So if it's in Minnesota, I can just drive there.
Sure.
It's like 6 hours. So
yeah.
I said, it's because this year's in Philly, I'd have to fly all the way to Philly. So it's just more work, I think. And then we can get like super expensive tickets, hopefully be on like, because Kavan sits in a state. If he sits in the stadium, my friend Kavan, apparently he gets like vertigo.
Oh, wow.
He can't be too high up. So he goes, we have to get somewhat closer. I go, you're going to spend $2,000 with me on tickets? He goes, sure. I said, okay, we got it. So we'll try and get pretty close. And Cody Rhodes probably defend the title there. He won't. I go, if we go this next year, we can see Roman Reigns lose. Because he hasn't lost in like 4 fucking years. Well, he did lose a tag match at Money in the Bank, but I could talk about wrestling for a while. In fact, when you leave, I'm probably going to watch Monday Night Raw because I DVR'd it.
Nice.
So, yeah. Well, thanks for listening to me blabble about wrestling for the last 20 minutes. And NBA rankings. Celtics going to win the title this year. Green Bay's going to come back and win the rest of their games. Red Sox are still going to suck. Penguins are going to keep winning. It's going to be a good time. Nebraska's going to win the Big Ten West because they all suck in that division. So why not Nebraska?
Disclaimer, when this podcast is over, you'll go back to reality.
Hope it goes to reality.